Hey, what's up guys, welcome to a new video. My name is Prince Mason. So today I'm going to be showing you a retouching overview of two images. Let's just jump into Photoshop. Let me show you guys the first image. So this right here is the first image and this is the second image. So we're going to go over how I retouched these particular images from start to finish and what's different about them and all that stuff. So let's go into Capture One, which is where I start most of my editing from. Now in Capture One, I really do not do a lot in Capture One for a lot of images. Sometimes I just add a little bit of contrast and that's all I do. But for these images, I just went a step further and I'll explain to you guys real quick. So in the case of this particular image, the first thing I did was just add some contrast to it, as you can see. So I have my levels right here. So I dragged my blacks in and I pulled my whites in, just to add some contrast to it. So let's just hold Option and let's click this right here so you guys can see what the before and after look like, before and after, because I like my images looking contrasty, especially when you're showing dark skin. So really nice. So what I do with my white balance is I just use my eyes basically to set my white balance. I set it to a particular place that I really love and then I go from there. Now the other thing I was telling you guys that I did in the case of this image, so we're going to go to our color tab right here and we're going to go to skin tone, is that I created a new layer right here, a new adjustment layer in Capture One. And what I did was that I adjusted the skin tones to match each other. Now this is very easy to do. All you have to do is just click on this color picker tool here, sample her skin, a part of the skin that you like, and what it's going to do is if you pull a few sliders here, then it's just going to even this out. Now I've done a tutorial about this before. I don't know where it is on my YouTube page, but if I find it, I'll definitely link it in the description below. If I do not, then I'll do a new tutorial about this and then link it. So it's just a very easy way to even out your skin tones right now. Another thing that I did with my adjustment layers is that I painted it out a little bit from her cheeks, because the makeup artist added some blush to it. That was the whole look, so I had to paint it out so that the blush can still be there. If you do not, everything is just the same color. Now talking about the makeup artist, big shout out to the makeup artist Leila Cartney. I'll put a link in the description to her page, and big shout out to the model Datola Jones, amazing model, amazing makeup artist, amazing team. Big shout out to my assistant too for always coming through for me. I'm not going to mention his name. He's going to be so upset when editing this video, but yeah, okay, let's move on. So from this point, the next thing that I did was I just moved this particular image into Photoshop. So let's get into Photoshop and see how I did the major skin retouching. So now we are in Photoshop and you can see the image. This is not straight out of camera. This is a Capture One edited image. And the first thing that I always do with my images is that I remove most of the blemishes from my subject's face. So as you guys can see, and I do that using basic frequency separation. So I just use my frequency separation to remove anything that's not meant to be there. Now the reason why I use frequency separation is for dark skin tones, I have found out that if I use any other thing, because we have like a lot of color, it tends to sample the colors too, and I really do not like that. So I just stick with frequency separation to do that. Now after using frequency separation to remove most of the blemishes, by the way, if you want my free frequency separation actions, I'll put a link in the description below. Just go to my digital store and you can get them for free, both the basic and advanced, so you can use it to edit your work. Using actions to work is very, very, very important because it helps you work faster and smarter. So definitely go check those out. Now the next thing that I did after that is micro dodge and burn. Now micro dodge and burn, I've done a couple videos on that. You guys should definitely check those out on my page. Is quite a tasking technique, I'll just put it that way, and it's a little bit hard to learn at first, but if you can learn it, then it's one of the best retouching techniques for retouching skin. So definitely check that out, the videos I have on that. And if you want an in-depth video on micro dodging and burning or retouching in general, then definitely go sign up for my beauty retouching masterclass. I'll put a link to that in the description below. It opens every once in a while, so once it opens, I'll send a message out to everybody that is on the early bird list and you can get in and register. So yeah, now after my micro dodge and burn, which is this, the next thing I always do is, still continue my micro dodge and burn. Now, the reason why I create 2 micro dodge and burn layers is because you might run out of latitude in your first layer. So if you do that, you need to create another one that's going to be effective. If not, you're just going to keep painting away on your micro dodge and burn layer, and nothing is going to happen. So in a situation like this, for this particular image, it almost seems like I did more with the first one around her face and the second one on her body. But the major reason is so that if you run out of latitude while you are micro dodging and burning on the first layers, then you can actually now do more on the second layer, right? Then after that, I'll create a stamp visible layer because I want to do frequency separation again. Now we that have dark skin tend to have a bit more texture on our face and sometimes a little bit more color variation because of our melanin, right? And if you're going to spend so much time micro dodging and burning, you might it'll take a lot more time to get the image to look as smooth as possible. So what I do is micro dodge and burn to a respectable level, and after that I do frequency separation. As frequency separation just helps me smooth out a little bit of the transition, but don't do it too much. And the good thing about how I'm retouching is that you can always just drop the opacity of whatever you feel like you've done too much and have the image looking good, right? Now with my frequency separation, another thing I did was, can you see the highlights on the hair? I made sure that I fixed those, got that out of the way, and the image looks really nice now. So next thing is global dodge and burn. Now for global dodge and burn, what you're trying to do is make sure that the highlights and the shadows stand out more so that your subject's facial features can stand out even more. So that's what I did with my global dodge and burn. So let me show you guys the before and the after. So your global dodge and burn, what you do is that you dodge your highlights and you burn your shadows. So the highlights being like the forehead, like underneath the eye, her chin, all those places that lights will hit and stand out. That's what you do with your dodge, and your burn is the shadows. So the side of her nose, which I tend right now to not burn too much, but still something that I am working on. Okay, great. So after that, at this point, I feel like her skin looks really good and I don't want to do anything more to her skin. So what I'm going to do next is start working on toning her skin to the level that I want, right? So the first thing I do is work with my level. So if I open that, it's just dragging in my highlights like I did in Capture One and pulling in my shadows to give it more contrast. Now, once you add more contrast to your image like this, the image stands out, looks really nice. But the other problem is that you tend to have a lot of color. So like the reds in the skin start popping out a lot. Now to combat that, I have different things that I use. The first thing that I always do is just add one of my skin tone LUTs to the image to have this nice color grade. Now if you want to get my skin tone LUTs, you should definitely go check them out. They're amazing. I use them to color grade both dark and light skin tones. I absolutely love them and I use them in almost all my images, if not all my images. So definitely go check those out. I'll put a link in the description to my digital store. Check out my skin tone LUT for light skin tone LUT for dark skin. And if you want all the actions that I'm using to retouch, then check out my Retouching Essentials pack. Amazing actions that you can use to retouch as fast as I do and get amazing results. So check this out. Now, after that, what I did next was I reduced the reds on her skin because I just felt like it was a little bit too much. You feel me? Just a little bit too much. It was looking not natural, because I always go for this just muted look, just a little bit, nothing, out of the ordinary, right? Now, another thing I noticed is that I feel like, like if you look right here on her face, just right there, just a little bit of light there that I didn't like. So I just created some new micro dodge and burn layers and I used it to correct that part, right? And after that, put everything together in a stamp visible layer, go to liquify and fix, a few things. Now, one of the first things I fixed was the neck because I just felt like the neck wasn't long enough, and long necks just make the image look a lot more elegant. So I just had to bring those shoulders down and make the neck look longer and reduce the size of the face just a little bit. Now the reason why I did that is because I shoot with a 100mm lens, and to make faces look a lot more flattering, you might need to use a longer lens, so maybe like 200 ends 180, but I don't I don't like shooting my 70-200. I prefer the look I get out of my 100mm, and I don't have a 180mm macro. So, you know, for now, I'm just going to stick with my 100. And when I get into post, I would just reduce the size of the face just a little bit, you know, make it look like how I'm seeing it in real life with Liquify. Because like I said, with the 100, you're getting really close up and it tends to distort the face even at the 100mm. Then after that, I did a general cleanup. So if you can see the hair, this was like later because I came back to look at the image after a couple hours and I just wasn't satisfied with like the hair. And look at the eye right here. She has this little gap on her brows. So I had to take that out. And that's about it. Did I do anything to the background? Not really sure. No, I didn't do anything to the background. And that's about it. That is the first image. So I'm just going to zoom out, show you guys the before and the after. Before and after. You know, they say tiny droplets make an ocean. I don't know if that's what they said, but you guys get the whole idea. So, you know, it's just gradual process from start to finish, and before you know, you have an image that's looking great. So on to the second image. Right now, with the second image, I did the same exact thing in capture one, so I'm not going to go back to show you guys that. You guys already know what I did in the first image. Now the first thing I did was, I'm going to run through this pretty fast. Basic frequency separation, and what that does is that removes all the blemishes from the face. Like I said, if you want my free frequency separation actions, I have them for free. Go to my digital store and check that out. Then after that, micro dodge and burn, you know, you use this to correct or whatever variations you have in the face that, you know, are not natural or, you know, not smooth. So let me just use the word not smooth so you guys can see I've done that right here, because shadows and highlights tend to make the face. So, you know, if shadows are in the wrong places, then it just looks weird, and you know, if highlights are in the wrong places, it just looks weird. So, and regardless of how much how perfect the person's skin is, especially if you are dark, like I said, you know, we tend to have a lot more variation when it comes to texture and color on our faces. So, you know, take your time. Then after that, still worked with my micro dodge and burn again. Like I said, the first time you might run out of latitude with your first micro dodge and burn layer, so it's always good to create a second one so you can you know, even micro dodge and burn even more. But at the same time, do not spend too much time micro dodge and burning, you know, because it's good to move to other things. Now the next thing I always do is create a stamp visible layer, and after that, you know, advanced frequency separation. And this just smoothens out the image even more, and I use it to like fix the hair. As you guys can see, the lights around the hair. Now with my advanced frequency separation, I've merged this together already, and the reason why I did that was because the files were like really heavy and I wasn't planning on doing how I edited this particular image video, so I just merged it together. But yeah, you guys get it. If you want to learn how to use my advanced frequency separation, then I have a lot of videos on frequency separation. Just search for Prince Mason frequency separation and you see a ton of videos on how to use your mixer brush to get amazing skin tones. Sorry, amazing skin. Yeah, not tones, but skin. Yeah. So after that, you guys know the deal. Global dodge and burn. After global dodge and burn, eyes and teeth whitening. Have this action out for free too. Go check it out and get it. It's amazing. One of my favorite actions I use all the time. And then, you know, my levels adjustment, pulling my blacks just a little bit from the left, I mean, and then my whites a little bit in from the right. Now, you know, don't use the same exact values that I'm using. You have to find something that works for each image because every image is different. Then color lookup, used one of my skin tone LUTs. I used the signature skin tone LUT 2 that you guys can see here. If you want to get this, check it out in my digital store. You're going to love it. Amazing stuff. I mean, for me, it's amazing. I love it because I use it all the time, as you guys can see. Then create a stamp visible layer and start working from that. Now, the problem, or the tiny problem that I think I had with this particular image, was that I just felt like the way she posed, she kind of like just let one eye down and I wanted to correct that so badly. Like I was done with the image and I just wanted to correct that. So that's what I did. So if you guys can see, I just fixed that, and the way I fixed that was that I moved this particular eye to this place. Now I know it makes her look different. I know. Don't kill me, but I'm just saying it was just the look I was going for. And you know, it's always nice to try new things. You never can tell when it's going to come in handy. So that's what I did. So I just moved that eye and the brow this way to make it look more uniform, right? And after that, I created a stamp visible layer. And in this stand visible layer, I did my liquify, I did everything I was going to do. I did my advanced frequency separation too, so I could just fix the little issues that were here. Yeah, and I also cleaned up the background. So I did all those things and merged it into one layer. Like I said, I wasn't planning on doing a video for this particular image, but I just felt I should do it because of that eye that I fixed. So great. Now after that, I just felt like the eye wasn't sitting as well as I wanted it to sit, so you know, kind of like just turned it around a little bit, you know, because it just looked weird here. So you know, just turned it around a little bit, and then desaturated the background because you know it was taking too much from the image, and I wanted it to look muted and almost match the color of the eye, you know. So yeah, that's about it. That's how I retouched these two amazing images. I'm just going to pull this out here and pull it side by side with this particular image. You know, let's zoom in here and try and fill the frame right here. So that's how I edited these two amazing images from start to finish. If you guys want to learn how to edit like this, then check out all my videos on my YouTube page. I have amazing videos that will help you take your retouching to another level. So anyways, thank you so much for watching today's video. Really appreciate it. Do not forget to give this video a thumbs up, comment below, let me know what you think, because your comments help YouTube know that this page is actually doing something nice. So give me a thumbs up if you love my content. If you don't, just give me a thumbs up too. For staying this long and listening to me talk, that means I am amazing and you love my voice. And also subscribe to the channel, because you know we're growing. We're trying to get to 100,000 this year, you know, slow and steady. No, we're not saying like crazy goals for ourselves on this channel right now. Just, you know, slow and steady, trying to get to 100k. So that's like 30k. So if we can get like 3,000 subscribers every month from now to the end of the year, then I should be able to do 100,000 subscribers this year, and that would be amazing. Crazy, man. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Trying to be more consistent now with more content. See you guys in the next video. Have an amazing day. Peace out, guys.